Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So I have a video for you today. This is a terrarium build. It's out of an Akerbar, an Ikea Akerbar cabinet. So what's the bigger one? And the reason I wanted to do this is because, man, I really enjoy the smaller one that I've built. And I also wanted to get some isopods, and I feel like the one that I have, Abby, my cat is going crazy over here. But anyway, I feel like the smaller one that I have, I didn't want to put isopods in there because I felt like it was too small. And I really wanted some of those dairy cow isopods, and I felt like in this one it would be perfect. And so I went ahead and decided to build another terrarium. And this one I did different as well, because my first one I never really posted it because around that time, that was when I was sick the first time. And I built this when I was sick, and I don't know, the footage wasn't very good to me. So that's why I kind of just thought, you know what, I want to go ahead and build another one too, and then hopefully I can get better footage of this one. And that's why I don't have really too much footage of my other terrarium. But yeah, anyways, let's get started. I am going to be doing some voiceovers and maybe some music throughout the video. So I'm just letting you know that, make it a little bit of relaxing and cozy type video, hopefully. And I do hope that you enjoy the build. I'm also recording in my basement, so if everything's a little different today, that is why. My footage, I thought that I was getting audio in my introduction for the terrarium, and I wasn't. So this is why I'm making the introduction here in my basement. Because after this, I got to start editing and getting this poster for you guys. But I do hope that you do enjoy this video, so let's get to it. So in this video, I'm pretty much just describing exactly what I'm doing with the tape. I was just trying to make everything look a bit more neat by applying tape in the corners of where I'm going to be adding silicone. I did get this idea after watching a lot of different terrarium videos and how they built theirs. And I did grab some ideas from literally like all the videos to be able to do this terrarium exactly how I wanted to. So I did put tape around there, just trying to make everything as neat as possible. I ended up not putting silicone in some areas of the terrarium just because I kind of thought about it and just didn't need anything in certain areas, mainly just the bottom, the back, and the sides, because I feel like that would be the areas more likely to have any kind of either humidity or any leakage from any watering in the terrarium. So I am laying down some newspaper here because I didn't want to get any silicone on my carpet. So pretty much just for protection. And I'm going to be sealing up the inside of this cabinet. So I'm sealing up the cabinet on the bottom area right now, and then I will be trying to seal up everything else after. Doing this wasn't a really hard process, but if you're not careful, it can be pretty messy, hence the taping of the terrarium. After applying the silicone, I did smooth it out with my finger. So definitely wear gloves for this. You don't want to be getting the silicone all over your fingers. I didn't find that when I accidentally did get it on my hands, it was hard to remove, but it's just to prevent any kind of issues having to wash that off in the future. So here I'm actually just sealing up the bottom of the terrarium. I just wanted to make sure the top part would not fall off from the bottom, just making sure that it was sealed pretty well. I didn't seal it to the point where it wouldn't have any kind of leakage because I am not actually going to be filling it with tons of water or anything like that, more towards where the soil is having plenty of moisture for the plants and the isopods and springtails that will be in this terrarium. So now I'm just pretty much sealing up the inside as well, just trying to make sure it has a good hold within the tray and the top part of the Akerbar cabinet. That would really suck to be carrying this thing somewhere and then you don't grab it from the bottom and then you grab it from the top and everything just falls out. That would be one big disaster. So I definitely didn't want that to happen. So just trying to make sure everything is sealed in there correctly. So far I've already sealed it up the best that I can with some silicone. And then I got my bark in today, so I'm going to be, now that this is all cured, I'm going to be putting in my bark with my foam around the inside of the cabinet. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started and see how it goes. After applying all the silicone in the areas that you do want to seal this cabinet, it does require for you to wait 24 hours for it to cure. It also helps with the smell. There is a kind of a strong smell with the silicone, so if you do this indoors, make sure you have a window cracked or wearing a mask of some sort. I did have the window open while applying all the silicone and everything else that I did to this cabinet. Okay, so I went to get these little cups because I'm going to be putting them in there for the plants. And I'm not too sure how many I want. I'll probably put maybe 3 or 4, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. The sun is a little bit crazy, so hopefully y'all can see this pretty good. And so I'm using the Gorilla Foam Seal multi-purpose. And I gotta put gloves on because what I heard is that this stuff will not come off of your skin. And so let me go get some gloves before I forget. I didn't realize how early it is still. I think it's because I have my family home and usually they're not here when I'm doing this stuff. Or right now at this time at least. They're not here. I got my gloves. And I cannot read because I am blind. Oh, before I do this, I need to put my spag and my cocoa core together, so I'll be right back. This room door kind of stuff at this window. It doesn't smell real bad, but just to be on the safe side. There. Just in case. Don't want to make myself sick. All right. So now I'm just going to place in these pieces of wood exactly. Hopefully they'll go in how I want them. I'm already making a mess over here. After actually laying that out and applying it to the foam, I kind of had a different idea that I think I should have done. If I could have put the cork bark where it was kind of like angling out a little bit, that would have been amazing. So that way I could have actually just planted some plants inside of that and used that kind of like as a pot. It's kind of hard to describe, but yeah. So when applying the foam, I did find it that it was quite hard for it to stick on the sides. I did watch some videos where they say if you want it to have a little bit, where it sticks a little bit better, then it's good to put silicone like all over the glass or plexiglass or whatever it is that you're applying it onto, because this will help it to actually stick on a lot better when you're applying it. I personally didn't do that, so yeah, it did make it a little more difficult in the areas that I didn't have any kind of silicone. Thankfully on the corners, it did have some, so it stuck very well there, so I do know for a fact that it does work. So if you're ever building something like that, just keep that in mind to apply a little bit of silicone on the glass itself whenever you're sealing everything before the foam. Also, when applying the coco coir and sphagnum moss, you want to make sure they are dry, because if not, they will not stick properly. I did make sure that I did wet the sphagnum moss and get all that ready for the next day, and then I had the fan on full blast in the room to dry it out. I can't say that everything was dried perfectly, but a lot of it did stick, and I used mainly the dry parts of the sphagnum as well as the coco coir. So just the same as the silicone, you want to go ahead and let the foam cure for 24 hours. In this video here, I'm actually just flipping the cabinet upright. It had already been 8 to 10 hours, but I wanted to put the drainage layer in along with, I did use weed mat. I didn't use what most people use, which is screen, like a window screen. I did look it up, and weed mat can be used as well. I had plenty of that in my garage, so I just used some of that and then applied some charcoal on top, and that's the only layers that I did apply until the next day. So you can see a little bit of the substrate that did fall at the bottom. All I did was go ahead and just vacuum it all out of there, so that way I could go ahead and add my drainage layer. And I was very surprised that a lot of my substrate did stick. You can see some areas where it did fall off, and you can see the white foam. And those are just areas that some of the substrate was a little too damp. That's why I'm saying you want to make sure that everything is as dry as possible for everything to stick properly. For the drainage layer, I did use perlite. I used perlite because this is what I had on hand, and I know that it works really well. Since the perlite that I do have here is the chunkier kind of perlite, I knew that this would work very good for this. Hello everyone, so I'm back here with day 3 on building this terrarium and the Akerbar cabinet, and it's coming out really well. I have to say, I was so anxious yesterday. I was that close to kind of just putting the soil and everything in there. I did last night. Of course, as you'll see, I did put the charcoal and like the drainage layer at the bottom, along with, you know, most people use like window mesh, but I did look it up and I had some weed mat, and I thought, well, why not use that? It's probably about the same thing. So I just cut out some weed mat and put it in there for to separate the drainage layer from the soil. And then I lined it up with some charcoal, as you may have already saw. But it looks so good. I'm so excited because today is the day I've been waiting for. Today is the day where I'm actually going to start pinning up, putting my soil in. am pinning up all my plants and doing some cuttings and all that. So I'm going to bring you along with me to do all this. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I'm not giving myself enough air here. I'm trying to like talk without taking a breath. But also I just got back from Christmas shopping too, which gave me enough time to let this do its 24-hour thing. So it has been 24 hours since I did the foam and the soil. I think it looks so good. And so yeah, let me go ahead and start putting the soil in here, and then we'll get started on all the cuttings and whatever I want to do to this. Well, I have the soil here and I'm going to go ahead and put it in. If you did see the light behind me, it's just to illuminate the cabinet a little bit better, or the terrarium. And so yeah. So I do have my soil here. It is a mix of coco coir, sphagnum moss, worm castings, and charcoal. And that's all I put for the terrarium soil. So I just made it myself. Another card in there, but I went ahead and put all the soil in there, how much I wanted to put. I didn't want to over do it, and then my little isopods, when I get them, I didn't want them to crawl out, although I do have it insulated pretty well, but still. So you can see me. So I just went to get some alcohol and these little shears so I can go ahead and start doing some cuttings. One thing that came in handy is a plant that I didn't like, which is that pilea over there. It's actually doing really well for cuttings for my terrariums, and so I'm kind of excited I didn't throw it away after all. Here, I'm going to grab some cuttings of it. It is doing so good in my other terrarium, and I will post a video of my other terrarium. Oh, it's falling. I have a makeup brush I never use. I'm going to dust off this cork, this bark here, to make it more pronounced. I have some of these that I'm going to put in there as well. I'm not too sure how I want to do these yet. I'm like, should I do it like this? Should I do it like that? But I am going to be putting isopods in here, so I might just put these on the ground or on the base here in a manner where the isopods will have a place to hide, which I mean they will over time anyway, with the way that I'm going to be doing this. I have some extra. Okay, so that should be better now. I just went ahead and put my grow lights. I should have just did this in the first place. Let me go ahead and finish kind of cleaning off this bark. I have these cuttings here, if you can see them, and I'm going to be placing these cuttings and some sphagnum moss all around here in a second, and that's when I'll probably just put music on for y'all just to watch. And also I ended up getting some floral wire. I'm going to use this to pin all my moss in, along with like my plants and stuff as well. What I'm going to do is put my Drosera in one of these cups. I do have 2 cups that I put in here to be able to plant a couple of plants in there, and then the rest I'm just going to pin. So I got my wire cutters so that way I can cut the floral wire. But for now, I'm going to go ahead, since the moss soaked up all this distilled water, I'm pretty much just breaking it down now.
Roller coaster ride, hands up in the sky, take you on a ride, love to feel the high. We can start again, laughing to the end, screaming at the top, hope it never stops. We could do it all over, thrill is bringing us closer, superstar you're like Nova. Oh, so incredible one time, gotta let it go tonight, wanna know what it feels like, yeah. We going up, we take it down, let's spice it up, baby, right here and now, hey, nothing could be better, so high up in the clouds, let's make it last forever, can nothing bring us down, oh, roller coaster, roller coaster ride, hands up in the sky, take you for a ride, love to feel the high, we can start again, laughing to the end, screaming at the top, hope it never stops, we can do it all over, thrill is bringing us closer, superstar you're like Nova, oh, so incredible one time, gotta let it go tonight, wanna know what it feels like, yeah. We going up, baby, we take it down, oh, oh, let's spice it up, baby, right here and now, hey, nothing could be better, so high up in the clouds, let's make it last forever.
Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add in some springtails here, but this is pretty much it and the end of this video. This is my terrarium build and I'm very happy with it. It's already been a couple of weeks now since I've built this and everything is starting to turn green and growing inside of there, which I am very, very excited about. And I'll try to put a video clip of it here so that way you can see it here at the end. But I do want to thank you for watching another video. And if you do like my content, feel free to subscribe. Don't forget to like my video and I will see you in my next one. Bye, y'all. Look how good it's doing. There are isopods in here and I only see them in the mornings and sometimes during the day, but it's rare. They were molting just recently, which I thought was really cool. But I did add more moss in here, and then like all my plants are doing really well. My micans is actually growing. This is a new leaf, and it's only been a couple of weeks. And everything's doing amazing. So, and as you can see, like how everything looks from a little bit further away. But yeah, that is my terrarium currently. It's been doing great. Everything seems happy inside.